Okay, students. In today's class, what I'm going to do is I'll introduce AC circuits. You see, so far you know how to work with resistor, you know how to work with DC voltage source, you know how to work with a DC current source, and you are thorough with KVL, KCL, voltage division rule, current division rule, etc. But we have not considered AC current, AC voltage, capacitor, inductor. So these elements are considered to be AC elements. Okay. So what I do, say today in today's class, I'm going to discuss these elements. First and foremost, what is the meaning of AC? So AC is alternating current. The meaning of AC is alternating current. Means the current which will change. Such a current we call it as a alternating current, or say AC, in short AC. If you represent a DC with respect to time, say if this is a time, and if you represent a DC, this is a DC. Say this is 0, might be this is, say, for example, 5 volts. At any point of t, say for example here at a t1, how much is the amplitude? 5 volts. At a t2, how much is the amplitude? 5 volts. At a t3, how much is the amplitude? 5 volts. If you take at any point of time, the amplitude remains the same, constant. Okay, so such a current source we call it as a DC, means a direct current, say which is a steady state current. Its amplitude will not change with respect to time. Its amplitude remains constant. So this is a DC. So might be, say this is actually a V, means it is voltage. Even similarly, say current can be the same thing at any point of time t. So if I consider this as I, it will remain same. Say for example, if it is 3, means 3 ampere. Say at any point of time, whether it is t1, t2, any other t, say it will remain same. 3 ampere means it will be 3 ampere only. Say DC voltage source, and this is DC current source. And even we have seen a representation. Whereas at AC, if we consider AC, the representation of AC, especially say we are going to study AC with sinusoidal waveform, because AC, whether it is current or voltage, so we'll study with sinusoidal waveform. Okay, so this in short it is called as a sinusoid. Sinusoid is nothing but sinusoidal waveform. Okay, so it's a signal that has a form of a sine or cosine. Sinusoid is a signal that has a form of a sine or cosine. So it will be either in a sine form, you know what sine function, or it will be in a cosine function. So a sinusoidal current is commonly called as a AC current. AC stands for alternating current. So because it's a sine form, so I'll represent here. This will be something like this. At every point of time, its amplitude goes on changes. If it is 0, let us consider this is maximum amplitude Vm, and this is maximum amplitude at a negative, that is minus Vm. Okay, so and this is peak, and here, so this is pi. Okay, so if I consider this particular axis as, say for example, omega t, this will be pi, this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi, this is 4 pi, it goes on, right? And this is, say for example, I represent it as V of t. And such a sinusoidal waveform, so we can write it as V of t is equal to Vm sine omega t. So V of t will be, say Vm is amplitude sine omega t. How does this amplitude varies? It varies as per sine omega t. So this sine, the amplitude will be at instantaneous. See, Vm is maximum amplitude, or we can also call this as a peak amplitude. So Vm stands for the maximum amplitude. The maximum amplitude, whether it is a positive or negative, both will be it is same. Only the positive is plus Vm, negative is minus Vm. It's also called as peak amplitude. But at any point of time, if I consider some V, it is instantaneous amplitude. If at all I want to calculate the amplitude at this point, here, say because the signal is represented by, say, Vm sine omega t, here Vm, what is Vm? Vm is, it is the amplitude of the sinusoid. As I told, it is the peak amplitude or say maximum amplitude of the sinusoid. Sinusoid is nothing but sinusoidal signal. Okay, and what is omega? Say here it's the omega. T is nothing but time. But what is omega? Omega is angular frequency. Angular frequency, and normally the angular frequency will be in radian per second. And what about omega t? Omega t is argument. Say for sinusoid, it is argument. Argument of a sinusoid. Okay, sinusoidal signal or sinusoid. So because here, if you see this particular Vt is drawn with respect to this argument omega t, where omega is angular frequency in radian per second. Before I proceed further, let me draw the same diagram with respect to time axis. This is omega, means angular frequency. With respect to time, if we draw, say for example, this is Vt with respect to time t. Because DC I represented with respect to time t. If I represent AC, a sinusoidal waveform, so this is say 0, this is amplitude, maximum amplitude Vm, this is maximum minus Vm. Say this will be, say for example, I call it as a t by 2, this sometime t, this is 3t by 2, this is 2t. Okay, say here, say this is function. Okay, a sinusoid signal with as a function of its function of t, nothing but time. This is a function of omega t, nothing but angular frequency. Okay, so now if you see this, there is a relation between this t and pi. Okay, so what is that? Say from these two figures you can write t is equal to 2 pi by omega. Actually, omega t is equal to 2 pi. So from this you can write t is equal to 2 pi by omega. What is t here? T is called a time period. What is the time period? Time period is nothing but the time taken to complete one cycle. This time period is nothing but time taken to complete one cycle. And there is one more term called f, which is a reciprocal of time, 1 by t. And this is called frequency. F is called frequency, and its unit is per second, nothing but hertz, represented by Hz. So what is frequency? Say capital T is time period. It will give time taken to complete one cycle. Means how much a time it will take to complete this cycle. So if you see this sinusoidal waveform, it repeats every t second, capital T seconds. Say it will start at 0, say increases in a positive cycle, goes up to peak Vm, and then goes on decreases, becomes 0, then goes on decreases again in a negative, becomes negative peak, then goes on increases. Okay, so this up to this it will repeat. If you see this wave is repeated here, means the sinusoidal waveform repeats at every t interval, capital T. That's what it is called as a time period. Like say your semester is of 6 months. Okay, similarly here t is, say this period is t. Okay, t seconds. After every t seconds it will going to repeat, and t by 2 is half time period. So the time taken to complete half cycle is nothing but t by 2. And here, say one of the important thing is, if you consider this from here to here, this is t. Even from here to here, it will be t. Between two peaks, whatever the time will be there, that will be t. Because even this will repeat. You can see this will repeat. This will repeat. Means, so you can consider January to December as 1 year. Even say for example, August to July, not September, August to July is also 1 year. Okay, say here from here to here, if you consider t, even from here to here it is t. Not just that, even from here to here it is t, time period. Not just that, even if you consider, say for example, somewhere from here, and this will repeat up to this. This is also t between this. Okay, say t is what? Say it's a time taken to complete one cycle. Say for our VTU, this academic year is, say it will start with August and end with July. Whereas say for example, some other university, it may start at say for example June and end with May. For say, for example, PU colleges, it will start with, say, for example, April and end with March, something like that. Okay, so this is time taken to complete one full cycle is nothing but time period. Reciprocal of time period is nothing but frequency. But what frequency? Frequency is a number of cycles completed in 1 second. What frequency gives? The significance is number of cycles per second. How many cycles? Such cycles. See, this is one cycle. To complete this cycle, how much time is required? T seconds is required. And in 1 second, how many such cycles will be completed? That is nothing but frequency F. Okay, so the hertz, the unit is per second, which is called as hertz. It gives a number of cycles completed in 1 second. Okay, so the relation between omega and T is equal to 2 pi by omega. And what is actually omega is 2 pi f. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. And say if I see there, T is equal to 2 by omega, which is nothing but 2 pi by 2 pi f, which is nothing but 1 by f. T is equal to 1 by f, which is a reciprocal of frequency, or f is equal to 1 by t even. Say this is reciprocal of time period is nothing but frequency, or reciprocal of frequency is nothing but time. And this is one sinusoidal signal. I'll draw another sinusoidal signal. Say for example, let us consider this is a sinusoidal signal. It will repeat. Consider that this Vm and this Vm both are same, whereas this minus Vm, this is 0. And say this signal, if I consider, say here, I'm drawing another signal here. And what is a difference between these two signals? This signal is represented, if I represent it as a V of t, is equal to Vm sin omega t. It is Vm sin omega t. Whereas if I represent this signal, say what is difference? See, whenever this Vt, say this I call it as a, say for example, V1 of t. Say this I call it as a V2 of t. And if you see this, when V1 of t is 0, this V2 of t is at maximum. There is a difference in phase. This we call it as a phase pi. Okay, so the phase of the signal at which stage it is there, that is nothing but a phase. Okay, so it is in increasing phase, whereas this is about to decrease. There is a phase difference. Phase is nothing but status. There is a phase difference. Okay, so that phase we can represent it by pi. And now V2 of t can be written as V2 of t is equal to, it's nothing but Vm sin omega t plus pi. This is omega t, but say this pi, this V2 is ahead by pi. Okay, so to omega t, if you add pi, you will get say V2 of t. Okay, means there is both signals are differ by pi. There's a phase difference of pi. If this pi will become equal to 0, then V1 of t will be equal to V2 of t. And one more thing here, say this V2 of t and V1 of t, the time period might be even same. T only. Here also t, say for example, say here also t. But they differ with phase. When I say time period is same, even frequency will be same. But there is a phase difference, and that phase difference is pi here. Okay, and say one more important thing here is a periodic signal, or say a signal which repeats itself after a defined interval t is called a periodic signal. Okay, this sinusoidal signal is a periodic signal. Any periodic signal which repeats itself after t seconds can be represented something like this. Say V of t plus t, where t is the time period, will be equal to V of t only. Nothing but, say if you see, whatever the amplitude is there at V of t, say for example, if I call it as a V of t, same amplitude will be there after V of t plus t. You can guess. Here amplitude is 0, here amplitude. If I consider this as, say for example, t, after small t, after capital T, even same amplitude you will get. See, this is after capital T. You will get the same amplitude. That's what. V of t plus t is equal to V of t. Okay, even we can mathematically prove it. Say what is actually V of t? Say V of t plus t is nothing but Vm sine omega t sine omega. So this is t plus t, right? So I can write this as Vm sine omega t plus what is t? 2 pi by omega, right? So and this is equal to Vm sine omega t plus 2 pi. Okay, say if I take this, say omega inside, say this is omega here, say this is 2 pi, and this is equal to Vm sine omega t, because at every 2 pi, say sine 2 pi is, it is 0. Say that is nothing but Vm sine omega t. Okay, so this is nothing but Vt, V of t. And what is this? V of t plus t. This we call it as a periodic signal. A periodic signal is one that satisfies this rule. Okay, that satisfies. So in general, if I write f of t is equal to f of t plus t, it should satisfy this for all t and for all, say, capital T integers. Okay, so or say some nt, I'll write it as some nt for all n, where n is a integer. And when I say a AC circuit, to work with the complex numbers. I hope all of you are aware of complex numbers. Still, I'm going to revise a little bit about the complex numbers, because so when it comes to AC circuits, we should work with complex numbers. Okay, so a complex number can be represented by a capital Z. In general, it is represented by Z. And complex number can be represented in two forms. One is rectangular form and another one is polar form. And third one is also there, that is exponential form. In three different forms, you can represent complex numbers: rectangular form, polar form, and exponential form. In case of rectangular form, you can represent Z as, means a complex number as Z is equal to X plus JY. In case of polar form, you can represent it as Z is equal to R angle pi. And in case of exponential form, you can represent Z is equal to R, say, e power j pi. Okay, so it is e power j pi, where your, say, j is equal to under square root minus 1. Consider Z is equal to X plus jy. This is a rectangular form. It is the real part of Z, whereas Y is imaginary part. It is imaginary part. Okay, see, look at this. Z is equal to X plus jy, and this is about the rectangular form, whereas when it comes to a polar form, here I'll write polar form. Z is equal to R into R pi. Okay, see, here X is real part and Y is imaginary part for rectangular form. And J, the value of J is under square root minus 1. Say here, in case of polar form, R is magnitude of Z, whereas phi is, it is the phase of Z. Phase of Z. Phi is phase of the Z. So this is magnitude, this is phase. So we can have a relation between polar and rectangular form. Okay. So a very important thing here, dear student, if at all we can add, say, like natural numbers, we can add, we can subtract, multiply, and divide. Similarly, a complex numbers can be added, subtracted, multiplied, and divided. Addition and subtraction will be easier when we do it in a rectangular form. If at all we want to do the addition and subtraction, it's better to go with a rectangular form. And if at all we want to multiply and divide, so it will be easier in a polar form. Because of this, we should know how to convert a complex number from a polar form to a rectangular form and vice versa. So let us see the relationship, say, between converting these two numbers, like polar to rectangular and rectangular to polar. Given X and Y in a rectangular form, okay, means if you know a complex number in a rectangular form, nothing but you know X and Y, you should get to convert this to a polar form, you should get R and pi. Okay, for that purpose, what you can do is, R, the real part, the magnitude R in a polar form is given by R is equal to under square root of x square plus y square, and pi is equal to tan inverse of y by x. Okay, so this is for converting rectangular to polar manually. And say even vice versa can be done. If you know already, say given R and pi, you can calculate x and y. How? Say your x will be equal to R cos phi and your y will be equal to R sin phi. Okay, so this is x and y. Okay, and a very important thing is z, which is a complex number, can be written in polar form as x plus jy. Okay, and in rectangular form it can be written as r angle pi, and in exponential form or trigonometric form it can be represented by r of cos phi plus j sin pi, because r of cos pi plus j sin pi is nothing but e power j pi. So this is nothing but e power j pi. Okay, and now say if at all you want to convert from rectangular to polar and polar to rectangle, say one is this is manual conversion, whereas in calculator you can directly do this. Say for example, if there is a some number, say for example 2 plus j3, z is equal to 2 plus j3, and say if at all I want to convert this to a polar form, okay, say given x and y, I want to convert to a polar form, say where r is equal to, using this method I'll do first, r is equal to under square root of, say it is 2 square, nothing but say under square root of 4 plus 3 square is 9, and this is nothing but say 3.6. Say this is x square plus y square. Say x square is 4 plus this is 9 under square root 13 is nothing but say it is 3.6055. And what about pi? Pi is equal to tan inverse of y by x. Okay. So here, say if you use this tan inverse, like say here, tan inverse of y is 3 divided by 2 is nothing but it is a 56.3099. So this is pi value and this is r value. This I did a manual conversion, but it can be done automatically using a, see, look at this. If you have this calculator, say you can directly convert. See here there is a one button. You can see here polar to rectangle. Can you see? This is polar to, this is polar form, this is rectangular form. Okay, so you can convert it very easily. Say first and foremost you should put this in a complex form. Okay, so here, so there is a mode selection button. If you see this is a mode selection button. If you press this, second one is complex form, so press 2. So now you can see to change here complex form. So directly you can say type this 2 plus 3, and here I is there. Okay, so in your calculator if you see there is I, you press that. Okay, it is 2 plus 3i. Say 2 plus 3i, and this is 2, and to see the imaginary part press a shift and then equal, this is 3i, right? So once again press a shift and equal, this is real part, press a shift and equal, this is imaginary. Now to convert this to a rectangle, press a shift and press plus. Okay, so this is answer will be converted to a rectangle, then equal, look at this 3.6055 is magnitude, and to see the phase, press a shift and equal, this is the phase 56.3099. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Once again I'll tell you, taking another number, say for example some number, if z is equal to say 5 plus j7. Okay, I want to find r. Directly you can do, say first and foremost go to a mode and select complex mode. Okay, to say by pressing a 2, you can select a complex mode, and then say directly you can type this. Say here j is nothing but I. In your calculator, j is nothing but I. I is nothing but imaginary part. So 5 plus I7. Look at this. I7 is equal to, say, just a minute, 5 plus 7I. Okay. Say, dear students, here it's been written as a 5 plus J7, but here don't write like that. 5 plus, if you write I7, you will get a syntax error. It can be typed like this, 5 plus 7I. Okay. Say one is real part and another one is imaginary part. Equals. This is 5 is real part. To see the imaginary part, press a shift and equal. This is imaginary part. Now to convert this to a polar form, press a shift and then here you can see plus. You can convert, just press on this. Okay. So answer will be converted to a rectangular form. Then equal once again. Okay. So here this is real part is 8 point, means magnitude is 8.60 and angle is, if you shift and equal, this is angle is 54.46, means 5 plus J7 is equal to, in terms of rectangle, it is 8.6 angle 54.46. Okay. This is conversion from rectangular to polar, and if at all you want to convert from polar to rectangle, it is something like this. Say for example, here say this itself I want to convert to 8.6 angle 54.46. 8.6. To use angle, here you can see shift and this minus. Okay, it's angle, how much is this? 54.46. Okay, so if I press equal now, look at this. This is 4.9999 something. Okay, nothing but it is 5. Okay, because I neglected fractions in magnitude and what is that, phase. Because of that, we are getting nearly, it is say 4.998, nothing but say 5. And to see the imaginary part, press shift and equal. So this is 6.997, nothing but it is 7 only. So hope this is clear to all of you, how to convert using a calculator from polar to rectangular and rectangular to polar. And very important thing is, if at all you want to add two complex numbers, see, addition, say if already you might be knowing, but still, say if Z1 is X1 plus JY1 and Z2 is X2 plus JY2, Z1 plus Z2 will be done in a rectangular form, something like this, X1 plus X2 plus of J, Y1 plus Y2. And Z1 minus Z2 can be done in a rectangular form, something like this, X1 minus X2 plus of J, Y1 minus Y2. Dear students, it is not a minus J. It is plus J only, but say real part minus real part, imaginary part minus imaginary part. Okay. And say if at all you want to multiply Z1, Z2, then you do that with say polar form. Says if Z1 is X1 plus JY1, say it can be written in a polar form. Let us consider R1 angle phi 1. And this is, say for example, R2 angle phi 2. Okay. Say here, say this is R1 into R2 angle phi 1 plus phi 2. If you multiply Z1, Z2, say R1, R2 will be multiplied, both magnitude will be multiplied, but phase will be added. Okay. And Z1 by Z2 will be, it is R1 by R2 angle phi 1 minus phi 2. Okay. So first one is addition, subtraction, second one is subtraction, both in a rectangular form, third and fourth in polar form. Right. So if at all you want to add two complex numbers, convert both to a rectangular form, then add. If at all you want to add and subtract in rectangular form, multiplication and division in polar form. So I hope this is clear to all of you. And one more important thing, dear students, some of the points while solving, we should take a complex conjugate. Already you know what is complex conjugate. If Z is a complex number, z star is called complex conjugate, which is if z is equal to x plus jy, then z star is x minus jy. Okay, say this z star is complex conjugate of a given z. Okay, and in case of a polar form, it is r. If it is r angle pi, here it will be r angle minus pi. And in case of exponential form, it is r e power minus j pi, whereas here it will be r e power only j pi. Okay. And one more thing is 1 by j will be minus j. Keep this in mind, dear students. Wherever 1 by j is there, you can substitute that by minus j. Okay, and e power j pi, if I might be plus or minus, it will be equal to cos pi plus or minus j sin pi. If here plus, you add plus. If here minus, you add minus. Okay, thank you for watching.